The best recommended time to climb Kilimanjaro is during its dry season, spanning from December to mid-March and late June to October. The most favorable months are January, February, July, August, September, and October. These months are when the weather conditions are at their best. Clear skies, great views, little to no rain, and the sunshine. However, there is always the possibility of weather changing dramatically, regardless of the season. You can climb Kilimanjaro at any time of the year, but certain months are better than others. We recommend best to climb Mount Kilimanjaro during the driest months. We avoid April and November, as these are the main rainy seasons, making the trails more dangerous. Best months to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. A month-by-month overview. Mount Kilimanjaro is open for trekking year-round, but weather conditions vary significantly throughout the year, affecting visibility, trail conditions, and the overall experience. The best months to climb are generally during the dry seasons, while the rainy months present challenges such as muddy trails and reduced visibility. Below is a detailed breakdown of what to expect each month. Climbing Kilimanjaro in January and February, early March. January and February, as well as the first few weeks of March, are among the best months to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. During this period, the weather is generally dry and stable, with clear skies, excellent visibility, and comfortable trekking conditions. Daytime temperatures at lower elevations are mild, while nights at higher altitudes can be quite cold. Occasionally, snowfall can occur above 4,000 meters, 13,000 feet, creating stunning scenery and providing breathtaking photo opportunities at the summit. Although this period is considered a high season for Kilimanjaro, it is typically less crowded than the peak climbing season of June to September. This makes it an excellent choice for those who want favorable weather conditions without overwhelming crowds. The combination of clear skies and manageable trail conditions makes it ideal for first-time climbers and those seeking a smooth ascent. Climbing Kilimanjaro in late March, April, and May. As mid to late March progresses, the long rainy season begins to set in, bringing frequent and heavy rainfall to the mountain. This period, especially April and early May, is characterized by wet, muddy trails and limited visibility due to persistent cloud cover. The rainforest zone at the base of Kilimanjaro becomes particularly slippery and difficult to navigate, making the trek more challenging. Additionally, summit temperatures can be extremely cold, with strong winds and ice patches forming at higher elevations. While the rainy season significantly reduces the number of climbers on the mountain, those who attempt to trek during this time must be prepared for difficult conditions, wet gear, and less scenic views. However, the Rongai route and Northern Circuit route, which pass through drier areas, can offer slightly better conditions. Late May sometimes sees an improvement in weather, but it remains unpredictable. This season is best suited for highly experienced trekkers who don't mind challenging conditions and want to avoid crowds. Climbing Kilimanjaro in June, July, August, and September. From June to September, Mount Kilimanjaro experiences one of its longest and most stable dry seasons, making it the most popular period for trekking. The combination of favorable weather conditions and the summer vacation season in North America and Europe leads to a high influx of climbers. June is typically the quietest month within this period, as many climbers wait for the peak of summer to begin their journey. July and August are the busiest months, with crowded campsites and popular routes like the Machami and Marang routes seeing the most foot traffic. September remains busy, but it offers slightly quieter trails compared to the peak summer months. During this period, rainfall is minimal and the trails remain dry and firm, making for easier hiking conditions. However, cold temperatures at night and near the summit should be expected. The clear skies provide stunning panoramic views, making it one of the best times for photography. While the crowds can be a drawback, those who prioritize ideal weather conditions and higher summit success rates will find this season the best option. Climbing Kilimanjaro in October. October marks the transition from the dry season to the short rainy season, meaning that conditions can be mixed. Early in the month, the weather is generally stable and dry, similar to September, but as the week progresses, rain showers become more frequent, particularly in the rainforest zone. Unlike the long rains of April and May, these showers are usually shorter and less intense, meaning they do not completely disrupt the trek. While October is slightly less popular than the summer months, it still sees a moderate number of climbers on the mountain. It is an excellent option for those looking to avoid peak season crowds while still experiencing relatively good weather. However, those climbing in late October should be prepared for occasional wet conditions and unpredictable weather changes. Climbing Kilimanjaro in November. November is one of the least favorable months for climbing Mount Kilimanjaro due to the arrival of the short, rainy season. Although the rains are not as heavy or persistent as in April and May, they still create muddy and slippery conditions along the trails. Cloud cover is common, reducing visibility and making for less scenic trekking experiences. During this time, the number of climbers is at its lowest, making it appealing to those who prefer solitude and don't mind trekking in wet conditions. Similar to the long rains, trekkers choosing to climb in November are advised to opt for the Rongai route or Northern Circuit route, which are drier than the southern routes. However, for most climbers, this month is not recommended unless unavoidable. Climbing Kilimanjaro in December. December is a transitional month, with early December still experiencing some of November's short rains. However, as the month progresses, the weather improves, making late December a popular time for climbing. The approach of the Christmas and New Year holiday period results in a sharp increase in climbers, particularly in the final 2 weeks of the year. The weather during this period can be mixed, with occasional rain showers and the possibility of snow at higher altitudes. However, visibility is generally good, and the conditions are better than in November. Climbing during late December is a great choice for those who want a holiday adventure, but they should be prepared for crowded campsites and busier trails. Climbing Kilimanjaro in October-November. Short rains usually come in November and last for 3 to 4 weeks. Often the rain is less persistent than in April-May, the long rains, and mostly comes in the late afternoon. The mountain is very quiet during this time. We would recommend the Rongai route or the Northern Circuit route, as the northern side of the mountain is more sheltered and has less overall rainfall. Best for avoiding crowds, experienced trekkers who aren't put off by wet weather. When can you climb Kilimanjaro? Important considerations. Weather conditions. Kilimanjaro is close to the equator and doesn't experience the same 4 seasons as the more temperate parts of the world. Instead, it has rainy seasons and dry seasons, both of which alter the complexion of the mountain. The best time to climb Kilimanjaro is the months of January through early March and June through October. The clear skies, great views and sunshine make for spectacular photo opportunities and comfortable hiking conditions. These are also usually the drier months of the year and the busiest. Read more. Guide to Kilimanjaro weather, temperature. Temperatures on the mountain vary with the seasons and also within the different climate zones as you climb higher. The summit zone is considered Arctic, and temperatures drop well below freezing at all times of the year. December to March and June, just after the rains, are usually the coldest, and there's a good chance you'll see snow on the summit. This reduces the number of visitors as compared to July through August, which is the busiest time, rainy season. There are 2 distinct wet seasons in the Kilimanjaro area. Long rains, end of March through May. Short rains, November, April and November usually have the highest rainfall, although this can vary. The rainy season begins around mid-March and typically extends well into May. During this time, conditions can be wet, stormy and muddy on Kilimanjaro, particularly along its southern face. Even in the dry season, it's always possible to get some rain. That's why we always carry good wet weather gear in our day packs. Visibility, clouds, mist and fog. You didn't come all this way to trek through cloudy skies and fog. From late March to the end of May and all of November, the visibility can be poor due to cloud cover. You won't be seeing the panoramic vistas and you won't be getting great photos. Crowds. Number of climbers on Kilimanjaro. As climbing Kilimanjaro becomes more popular, the favorable weather in January through early March and June through October makes the mountain busier. It's usually the Morang and Machame routes that suffer from some overcrowding. If you opt for one of the less busy routes, such as the Northern Circuits, Rongai or Lemosho, you'll still get to enjoy the vistas without too many people. One of the main downsides that climbers try to avoid when trekking during busy times is the overcrowding of the toilet facilities at campsites. We take care of our climbers by providing you with private toilet tents, used only by our group. The sense of camaraderie and friendships forged by meeting other climbers more than makes up for it being a bit busy. Many of our clients have made lifelong friendships with people they've met on the mountain. What's the best time to climb Kilimanjaro without the crowds? If you don't mind the possibility of getting rained on and are well prepared, the shoulder seasons just before and after the rains are the quietest time of year. If you're looking for solitude, it can be a worthwhile trade-off to risk a bit of wet weather to have the mountain to yourself. We avoid climbing in the height of the rainy season, April or May and November. Alternatively, choose one of the routes that have less foot traffic. In the wetter months, we recommend the routes on the northern side of the mountain, which tend to experience less rainfall and are more sheltered. Kilimanjaro safety and trail conditions. If you're an experienced hiker, you might not be concerned with slippery trails and a bit of mud. For inexperienced hikers, we recommend climbing during the drier months. Less chance of rain means less stress and discomfort, giving you more time to enjoy your surroundings. On the lower slopes through the forest, the trail can become quite muddy, and higher up slippery, rocky trails can be a challenge. We take your safety very seriously. Climbing Kilimanjaro guides are highly experienced and have hiked Kilimanjaro in all weathers. We monitor the weather and are flexible enough to be able to alter the daily itinerary during inclement conditions. Getting wet increases your chance of getting extremely cold. As you ascend, your body is already having to deal with the effects of altitude, and wet clothes can be the difference between a slight chill and hypothermia. It's extremely important for your safety and comfort to keep your gear dry, avoid getting soaking wet, and never stay in wet clothes. You'll need some very robust wet weather gear which we recommend at all times of the year. Choose one of the less challenging itineraries and make sure your gear, both in your day pack and duffel bag, is in waterproof bags. Note: the Tanzanian government has banned the use of all plastic bags, so please don't use garbage bags or Ziploc bags to store any of your gear. We recommend waterproof stuff sacks such as these. Your schedule. Depending on what you want to do before and after your climb, a Tanzanian safari or a Zanzibar holiday perhaps, or simply when you can get time off work to travel, can inform your decision about when to climb. Ultimately, apart from the wet months, April and November, there's no bad time to climb Kili, nor is there a perfect time to climb. Weather conditions on any mountain can be unpredictable. That's all part of the adventure, full moon and new moon climbs. Picture this: a cloudless midnight sky illuminated by a full moon. You dress in your summit gear, come out of your tent, and see the majesty of the mountain you are about to climb, lit by the moon. You hardly need your head torch as you ascend. There's something magical about climbing Kilimanjaro in the light of a full moon. Treks around the full moon can get quite busy, so bear this in mind if crowds are a problem for you. You'll need to start your trek ahead of the full moon date. For a 7-day trek, your start date would be 5 days before the date of the full moon. But bear in mind that the night before and after the actual full moon will be just as spectacular and possibly quieter. Kilimanjaro full moon dates. If you find the full moon makes you feel like a wolf and start howling or find it difficult to sleep with the light, schedule your dates around the new moon. With less light, you get fantastic stargazing with the constellations visible. Summing up the best time to climb Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro can be climbed year-round, but for your safety and comfort, climbing Kilimanjaro avoids the long and short rains, April, May and November, and recommends the drier months. We can accommodate you if your schedule only allows you to trek in the shoulder seasons. If you enjoyed reading this, thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe to Summit Kilimanjaro for more videos. See you next time.